Hello everyone, it's Mark. I am the Sanderson Collector, and this week we are going to be looking at my Sanderson Masterlist, which is the online spreadsheet that I maintain, where I keep a list of all the books that I have, plus some that I do not yet have. Joining me for my intro today, we have Ada, named after Ada Lovelace, the first computer programmer. And she is just here to say hi. She was wandering around and met some pets, so I decided that she could go ahead and say hi. This is my second cat, and part of the reason I've been so busy lately. I love you, baby. The response that y'all gave me from my last video has been absolutely amazing. So many of y'all said that you were glad that I was back, you were happy to see me, you enjoyed seeing a new video, y'all engaged and talked about Kickstarter, which was awesome, and that has really been motivating for me to keep recording these videos. And so I'm back here today. Fingers crossed I can keep myself on a weekly schedule. I'm probably going to flake out moderately often with quarantine and everyone else in the house, but I will do my best. I absolutely loved y'all's response on my Instagram too. A lot of y'all have gone over there and checked me out, which was really cool. If y'all haven't seen my Instagram, again, I'm putting a link in the description today, and so you can go check that if you want to. And I believe that's everything for this week, so without further ado, let's get into the Master List. The Sanderson Master List is my rather grandiosely named spreadsheet where I keep track of all the books that I have and some of the books that I don't have yet. Only myself and one other Sanderson friend have access to edit this spreadsheet. However, there is a public link for viewing the spreadsheet, which I will post in the description of this video for those of y'all who want to check it out and see the list and track along as I add in more additions as well. And I have this spreadsheet. I maintain it to keep track of my additions because it currently has 566 different books in here across the various printings and editions. And I additionally have it with tabs for each of the languages, and I have English and US and UK plus 28 other languages, each of which has at least one book. The main reason that I keep this sheet is so that I know if I run into a book at the store, I say, oh, this is a copy of Elantris. I have the 5th printing, the 8th printing, the 9th printing, and the 11th printing. Awesome, this is a 4th printing. I need that one for my collection. I'm going to buy it. Or, oh, okay, this is another 8th printing. I already have that one. I don't need to buy it to collect. Now, not only do I keep track of all the books that I own, but you'll notice I have an obtained column here, which is color-coded. The books that I have are in green, and the books that I do not have are in red. All I have to do is put in the 0 and the 1, and it autofills this because I have a bunch of conditional formatting rules that do that for me. And so I keep track of some of the books that I do not have yet, just because I want to know if I run across something, I need it. And it also helps me see, oh, here's the books that I still need to get, so I can go hunt them down and find them to put into my spreadsheet and have on my shelves for the collection. Now, like I said, this is organized into tabs with one tab for each language. And the main two tabs, the English US and English UK tabs, have a lot of really nice formatting on the spreadsheet itself, where I set up, like I said, I've got the obtained column, which changes color. I have a signed column, which turns green if I put anything in it, which notes that I have it signed, and I put in notes like when I have numbered editions or when there's a date in the book. Additionally, I have the title of the book, which format it is, the ISBN of the book, which printing it is, and notes that I keep for myself about typos or which edition this exactly is or how to identify this edition, and so on. So in my spreadsheet, one row corresponds to one physical book in my collection, or not in the case of some of these. And I have a fancy little formula over here that you really don't need to worry about that says which is a bunch of spreadsheet gobbledygook to say each book as I go through gets a different color in my spreadsheet, which is really nice for seeing things because my spreadsheet is organized by book. All the English US copies of Elantris are up here, then all the copies of Emperor's Soul, all the copies of Mistborn, and so on. All of the Cosmere books are here at the top, up through the Cosmere Anthology of Arcanum Unbounded, and pretty soon I will be adding another couple of rows right here for Rhythm of War, which is coming out November 17th, 100 days from now. I am very excited for that. Digressions aside, after the Cosmere stuff, I have the non-Cosmere novels, and those are approximately in order of publication: Rhythmatist, the Reckoner series, including Mitosis, and box sets come after the series. Books within a series are always in order: Steelheart, Mitosis, Firefight, Calamity. Here I've got the Skyward series, and then the middle grade Alcatraz series with all the editions for old versus reissue grouped together. Although they look a little funky here because Tor changed the title. And after that, I have various little other books and novellas that Brandon wrote that are non-Cosmere, such as Infinity Blade, Legion, and then the graphic novels and so on are also mixed in down here, plus groups that get mashed together of like Cosmere and non-Cosmere novellas and so on. And then other anthologies that Brandon has been in are down here at the bottom. And I know some of these have Cosmere stories in them, but since they have a lot of other non-Brandon stuff, I went ahead and put them down here at the bottom. Another special thing I have is books that I have ordered and paid for but have not received yet are listed as a 0.5 on the obtained scale, which turns the color orange so that I know not to go out and order that book again. More anthologies, various little snippets and things that have things in them, down to the adventure games and stuff that doesn't even have Brandon writing, his old magazines, newspapers he's been in, and so on. And that is how the spreadsheet is organized. That is not how my physical collection is organized. My collection is organized in this same order of languages. However, within a language, I really like things to look as uniform as possible on the shelf. So I have all of my advanced reader copies, and then all of my leather bounds and other special copies, then all of the regular full-size hardcovers, then all of the full-size paperbacks, the trade paperbacks, then smaller hardcovers, and then medium-sized paperbacks and medium-sized hardcovers and smaller paperbacks and so on, so that I go from largest and most special down to smallest and most common on the books, and they all look about the same with little declines and bumps here and there as you're going across the shelf. But if I put them all together like this, you'd have an arc next to a leatherbound, next to hardcovers, next to a book club hardcover, next to several mass market paperbacks, next to another arc, next to a couple more hardcovers, and so on. And it would not look very good at all because the different sizes, it would just be with each book. And personally, I don't like that look on the shelf. There are people who organize their collections that way, and if you do that, more power to you. My collection is not organized that way. My sheet is organized that way so that I keep track of all the editions of a single title in one place. Just makes it easier for me to remember where they are and how it all looks. The English UK sheet here looks very similar to the English US sheet. I use all the same formatting and so on. And Ark is joining us now for a moment because he was crawling around on the table where he knows he's not supposed to be. And yes, he has gotten to be a big cat now. I still love him very much, but he is also very much a troublemaker, and one of the large parts of why I am trying to get glass doors on all of my bookcases, because he likes to paw and claw and chew at everything. So now I will note that I have called my list the Masterlist, but it is basically just the book list. There's a ton of official and unofficial swag that I have all over the place. Shirts, pins, lanyards, games, so on, non-book materials. None of those are listed in my spreadsheet. At the moment, I don't track any of the swag. I really do want to come up with a good way of tracking all of that, but at the moment, that is not my priority, and so I just I know what swag I have, and I keep pictures of it and so on. Hopefully, I'm going to get my swag organized into a nice display case or two and set out on the shelves. It's mostly still in a box from moving at the moment. Once it is all set out and looking nice, I am planning to go through and find a nice way of cataloging and ordering all of that. So that is the main stuff in the collection. All the other languages, the sheets are in varying places of how well they're put together. Some of them don't have any color coding at all. Some of them have a little bit just for whether or not I have obtained the book. Here is a good example of one that has that color coding in it for obtained and not obtained. I also have a part column because so many of the books in some of these languages are split up into two parts, like German, where the language tends to have longer words with more characters, and so they have to split them up just because the books get so big. And additionally, you'll notice that on all these foreign languages, I list out the translated title so that I know what book on the shelf corresponds to which story in Brandon's writing. So this is how I organize my books. I list out all the languages and sort the books within the languages and list out all the different editions that I have, some of the ones that I don't have, and I go ahead and put in as much info about them as I can, ISBN, format, and so on. And it's all in a spreadsheet. Y'all are welcome to go look at it, download it, take the ISBNs, and copy the spreadsheet and fill in your own obtained or not obtained columns. If you'd like to add in additions that I'm missing on your sheet, go for it. There are other collectors out there who have their own sheets and their own formatting and way of doing things. You're welcome to do it however you want. This is just what works for me personally and how my brain operates. I will hopefully be talking to some other collectors in the upcoming months and making videos where I essentially just sit down and have a chat with the other person, and we can talk about how they collect and what's in their collection and how they got started collecting, how they organize their collection, just all that kind of fun stuff, and get a broader sense of how collecting works in the Sanderson community. And I'm actually really looking forward to doing those videos. One last caveat on my spreadsheet before I sign off. The spreadsheet is not complete, and it is not meant to be a complete index of all of the Sanderson books that have been published. It is just the list of what I have and some of the stuff I want to get. It would be really nice to have a complete list of everything that existed and have it all organized so that you could know, but maybe that is something that is coming in the future. But for now, this is all that is out there. I hope you all have enjoyed your tour through my Sanderson Masterlist, and maybe you found something here that's helpful with organizing your own collection or thinking about how to organize it. And thank y'all again for the hugely positive response to me making the video last week. Like I said, it has really energized me to make this video and keep making videos in future weeks. So I'm looking forward to seeing y'all next week. Until then, happy collecting.